Hello. Hi. Happy Sunday. Come on in. It's the Huddle Up call. This is not a workout. I know it's my workout thing back there, but this is not a workout. This is Huddle Call, okay? That's your favorite chair? And I'm sitting in McKenna's favorite chair. Who would have thunk? Come on in. Hey, tell me your favorite part of the weekend below. What was that favorite part that gave you like the warm fuzzies of like, wow, I love this moment? What was it? I want to know. Share. I love good stories. I love hearing you. I know Tiffany is in, I believe, Colorado for a tournament. Her daughter is in. Liz had the last week off. She goes back to work tomorrow. You got this. Vicky is settling into Florida nicely. Pam Elvis is on. Hello, hello. Hi. Let me get my water here. I like this chair too because it rolls. Hey, Katie. How you doing? Good to see you. Yes. Okay, so it's Huddle Call, all right? And this is the part, my part is crazy. This is the part of the week where we get on and we get a little real, okay? It's not a workout. It is a moment where you are challenged, okay? Here's the hard part, and this is what I'm finding about my coaching position, okay? If I'm being completely honest and real. There's many times where people will be a part of a accountability group as long as they're motivated, okay? They're only a part of that accountability group as long as they're motivated, and the second they stop being motivated or life happens, they don't log on to the huddle calls. They don't log on to the things that will actually carry them through that moment of life or challenge them or give them a different perspective or help them think a different way. They don't log on because they're no longer motivated. And I need you guys to log on, okay? I need you to press play. I need you to watch these huddle calls because like that, you're never going to be challenged. You're never going to grow out of that funk it's just going to be a cycle. And that's what it's going to look like. You're just going to keep going and going and going and going in this cycle, and then you're never challenged to grow out of the cycle. I'm finding that. We live in a day and age where, that pastor's saying something I don't like, scroll on by. That coach says that, scroll on by. And we're never put in a place long enough to where we're, really getting sharpened, okay? Hello, Thanetta. Hi, Katie. Florida, lucky. I absolutely love, yes, Vicky's in Florida, it's true. Yeah, we should go on vacation there one day, huh? So here's my challenge to you. One of the two, and then I'll get back into what I'm actually talking about. Show up, okay? We gotta show up. We gotta be a people who are gonna stay for the hard talks, okay? Stay for that moment, even when you're not feeling it, even when life is hectic, when life is crazy, you haven't showed up for all the workouts, your eating has been a mess. Show up for the huddle call, okay? Because that's when we put things into place of how we could do better the next time, all right? How we can do better this week. What kinds of things are we struggling with? What kinds of things are we needing more attention in, So we're able to do that. Hey, want to get on? Here, want to say hi? You and your little vacuum cleaner? Come here. Say hi. Hi. Look, he's got a vacuum cleaner. I don't know why. It's his favorite thing to carry around in the house. Oh, Pam got a kiss from her grandson. That's beautiful. I love that. Dio. Yes, that's Dio. So here's how do we turn bad days? How do we keep one bad day turning into bad months or even a bad year, bad weeks? You know, sometimes we hit this hard spot and we, 7 days later, 1 week later, we're still in that bad spot, right? How do we keep from turning one bad day into a whole week or a whole month? I am going to tell you, okay? And it's a little bit of a two-part thing, okay? Are you ready? First of all, in the physical, you show up, all right? You show up. Whether it's doing your stretches on the side of the bed and that's all you can do. If you're doing knee lifts, like I encourage you, Pam, I'm going to be doing your live workout with the workouts that you sent me. I'll be doing that this week. But even if it's knee lifts, okay? You're at your desk and you're doing knee lifts. If you're going out and in, any movement is better than no movement at all. Even if you think about that, like sit down and think of the ways you can move your body, okay? That movement is better than no movement at all. And maybe you're not running miles and miles and miles. Maybe you are. But a little movement is better than no movement. Plus, it gets you out of that funk. But I already told you, we live in a day and age where people don't want to do the hard stuff to get them out of the funk. They just want to cry and complain about the funk that they're in, right? And I'm telling you, life is so much better and so much sweeter when you're able to know yourself, identify the issue, and you're able to keep on going, keep on pulling. You're gonna feel like life is pulling things out of you sometimes, and that's not a bad thing. But we've got. What is happening? No, not right now. Go in the pool. He wants popcorn. Like his life crumbles when I say no to popcorn. Oh. One choice at a time, and don't stress one bad choice. That's right. It's true. You can't stress the small stuff. I remember like freaking out in my 20s. I remember when my kids were super young, I remember freaking out over small stuff. And like, it was a big blown up deal. And now that I'm like a little better into my 30s, I'm well into my 30s. I look at those moments and I'm like, wow, I could have handled myself a little bit better there. Yep, I could have. It's just funny how that works out, right? So definitely show up, push through. That's how you keep from all the days being. Theo, Sanjo, come here. Put the popcorn away. That's why I have a rolly chair, so I could just roll right to him. Go up to your room. Go up to your room and we'll deal with that in a little bit. When you're done crying, you can come back out. I always have to move my body somehow. That's how I am and been my whole life. If I don't get right. And that's not how I've been all my life. I have come to know this. I've come to know that when I'm depressed, when I'm upset, when I have a lot weighing on my heart and in my head and on my shoulders, I have to move. Staying in bed because of depression is not an option for Marla, okay? And maybe that's the same for you, but if I'm feeling weighed down, I cannot. There's some days where I am literally fighting. I'm fighting that inner self of like, just stay in bed, Marla, stay in bed. And it's achy and it's hard to get out of bed. But I know that the outcome of getting out of bed, even in that moment of down, even in that moment of weariness and depression or anxiety or whatever you call it, when you're feeling down, the answer is not to stay down. You've got to rise up. You've got to move. A lot of people are like, why are you always doing something on your house? Well, it's because my life, like, you would not believe the kind of weekend I had, and I'll share that in a little bit. But when my life is like, woo, crazy. Like, we're buying a house in North Carolina. We have guests and tenants in the other house, and, you know, buying a car here and getting all that. Like, there's just so much happening, right? I have to remember that that's part of life. Busyness is part of life. That happens. It's okay. And I cannot get overwhelmed with the waves of life. Getting overwhelmed with the waves of life means I can't move forward. Means I can't move forward, and I can't handle that. So always show up, move your body. It takes an action. It takes you putting action in that position, okay? So in the way you don't make one bad day turn into a bad week or a bad month is you show up even when you don't want to. There's so many workouts, guys, so many, where I don't want to show up. But I know that, one, the endorphins are going to help me handle more in that day, and it's going to make me stronger. I'm going to feel much better after the workout than I do before the workout. So that's one way of not letting your bad day turn into a bad week. You got to show up when you don't want to. And I already said, you know, we don't live in that kind of space anymore where people, like, you know, really go after the hard stuff, because everything is like, okay, take a pill, take a powder, here's a waist trainer, and it makes it sound so easy, and so, like, there's not a lot of work involved. And so there's people walking around who don't want to put any work in, okay? So just know that it's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging some days. But the way you don't make your bad day turn into a bad week or a bad month is by showing up when you don't want to, all right? The other part of that is I wouldn't be able to do this life without God. Without Him as my source. I know that He fights my battles. So why am I staying in bed? Why am I staying in bed, depressed, defeated, destroyed? Why? Why would I do that? When He's fighting my battles, why am I all weary and heavily laden? I don't need to be, because He's got the victory. I've already won. You see what I'm saying? And I gotta relinquish. Sometimes I have to relinquish my desires. I have to say, okay, God, however you want this position or this situation to go, that's how it's going to be. And I'm okay with that, because that's how you want it, and your ways are better than mine. Your ways are higher than mine. Your ways, you see what I'm saying? I have to relinquish my desires and what I want to see happen, and I have to let Him have control. Okay? So that's the other part of it. Like, I can't, in my bad day, I can't keep thinking, oh, I don't know how this is gonna pan out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. How do I do this? There's a solution for everything, and sometimes that solution is just laying it at the feet of Jesus. I'm gonna say 99% of the time, 99.9. I'm gonna say 100% of the time, laying it at the feet of Jesus is honestly the best solution. And sometimes we get so tripped up. We get so hyped up over, like, what it's supposed to look like, and, you know, like, it has to go this way, so we're busy shoving and manipulating and shouting and getting mad at other people and making a scene, and it's just like, whoa, lay it at the feet of Jesus, and you don't have to do any of that. You can actually live your life when you just say, God, you're in control. I wouldn't even want to live a day without Him. I'm telling you, because things happen. Life happens. And I know that I don't have all the answers. Thank you, Jesus. I do not have all the answers. And I am very glad for that. I'll tell you that right now. Very glad. So this weekend, or this next week, I was supposed to go to North Carolina to sign on some papers. And I bought the tickets Saturday night. I procrastinated on buying the tickets because they were so expensive, and I knew they were only going to be like the same price, right, or more expensive. So Saturday, last night, I bought the tickets, and I was supposed to do it Thursday. And then this morning I get a message from my realtor at bright and early 4:30 in the morning, because it's 7:30 over there, and she said, hey, closing got pushed back to the 29th. Well, the 29th was actually the day that I was supposed to be arriving back home from North Carolina. So it got pushed back from the 26th to the 29th. So you know what? I don't like that. So I do not like the fact that it got pushed back, okay? I had a bumming moment, all right? But here's the other side of the coin. My kids are going to be starting school. There's things that I have to do here. There's house projects that I could finish up here. There's so much going on. So I don't have to be mad or sad. We're still going to close on the house on the 29th. It'll be virtual. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. Just not what I had planned. But do you see how that shift happens? I'm doing the wave, y'all. I'm doing the wave. That's how we have to be. We have to be like water. We have to learn how to just shift and go with the, what is it called? Ebb and flow or whatever. I don't know. I'm probably really messing that up. I don't know. But we have to learn how to adapt and overcome. I've said this before a couple weeks ago, and this is just a perfect example of it. I want to be in North Carolina for that signing. Can't happen. So what? Do I pout? Do I cry? No. I go with it. That's what it has to be. And so I could have made today a bad day by saying, oh, I don't get what I want. Sometimes what you want is not what's supposed to be. We have to remember that. We have to be a people that is like, okay, when I lay it at the feet of Jesus, that's where it's at. Right there, that's where it's at. And I know that he has a plan for that situation. So I don't need to cry. And from the get-go, from the get-go of even looking at houses, I've been laying at it at Jesus' feet. I'm like, all right, God, okay, here's a house. Okay, Sandra's going to go look at it. Okay. Doors have been opened. Amazing doors. Doors have been closed. This is just it's just a little weave, in the plan. And that's okay, but we have to learn how to not make these little, side things, like these little obstacles. I don't even want to call it an obstacle, because it's what is here in front of me, But we've got to learn to not make, hey Beth, we've got to learn how to not make those alterations, there we go, those alterations, a bad day. Go with it. Because if you're laying it at the feet of Jesus in the first place, guess what? That alteration is his plan. That's him. So you just go with it, okay? So don't make one day turn into bad days, okay? It can happen, and it can happen. So number one, in the physical, we show up, all right? We show up. Even when we don't want to, we drive to that gym and we press replay. Or we, turn the lights out, we go home and, we get it done somehow. With weight, without weight. And then the second, lay it at the feet of Jesus. All right? There is no reason for you to be stuck up in bed, destroyed, defeated. No. It's time for you to be determined. All right, it's time for you to turn it around. And the minute you start showing up, it's so funny to me how everybody's like, so many people, including myself, if I take like 4 days off because I'm traveling or I have a trip or whatever, if I take like 4 days off, I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get back to where I was. Like 4 days, that's it, right? But then you start talking yourself out of more workouts and out of more meal prep and out of more healthy decisions. And then it's not 4 days, it's actually 5 weeks, right? You hear me? So, but it's crazy because when you get back to working out, the very first time, you're like, oh, I'm fired up after one workout. And I promise you, like, that's how it goes. Like one workout and you're like fired up, ready to go. All you have to do is show up. That's all you got to do. Bring your body to the party, okay? So don't turn one bad day into days or weeks or months, okay? We definitely turn it around, okay? You have the opportunity to turn it around. If everything in your body and in your mind might be saying, stay in bed. It's not worth it. Don't do it. And when you hear that, that is the moment where you fight with everything in you to get up, lay your clothes out tonight, make sure you have a plan and how many days you're going to work out, how much water you're going to drink. Have a plan. Be intentional. Show up with intention and then show up with action, okay? I love you guys. You guys are doing an incredible job. And I just want you to be challenged today, okay? Don't let your bad days overcome you. Don't let your bad days say, well, you've done better back then. You were doing way better back then. Don't let that happen. Say, nope, I'm showing up today. Now I'm showing up. This week is my week, okay? Go with the flow. That's right. So true, so true. Yes. All right, guys, I love you. Be challenged. Tell me how many workouts you're going to do in the comments below. And let's post our food. Let's post our water. Let's post our post-selfie workouts. Let's post it all this week, okay? I always get my stuff ready the night before. Been like that since I was... Yes, me too. Actually, if I don't get my stuff ready the night before... It's almost like a 100% guarantee that I will not work out in the morning. I'm not going to roll out of bed and sift through socks and underwear and hopefully find my shoes and whatever. No, like when I lay it all out, I lay every single thing out, and that's bra, underwear, spandex, you name it. I lay it out because that is I've been doing that for 8 years since the beginning of my journey. So it just becomes a form of habit at some point. But yeah, you definitely, that's a good thing to do. So, all right, keep it real, guys. Keep it real. Keep posting. And I will talk with you guys later. Be challenged and be encouraged today.